super conscious of the way you speak, what you say, how you say it, the tone that you say it in. Now, be honest, because in this month, the month of May, which is the month of me, one of the things that we're going to do, we're going to stop policing our speech. We are going to stop policing our speech. And this is especially true for high achieving women and successful Black women, mainly because we are hyper visible. Like people can see us because we are doing things, we're making an impact, which also makes us hyper aware. We're aware of how we sound, the way we say things, the way that we look, how we eat, how we walk, how we breathe. Oh my goodness, it is exhausting. And because this is your month to have a radical love affair with yourself. Baby, I want you to opt out this month. It is so freeing, let me tell you. We are so worried about people seeing us as the angry Black woman and not wanting to be labeled as aggressive that we will intentionally and pay close attention to the tone of our voice. We will speak softer. We will lower our voices. We will be less direct. You know what you want to say, you know what needs to be said, but you'll be less direct because you don't want to be labeled as aggressive. You don't want to be labeled as the angry Black woman. And we will turn ourselves into a pretzel to avoid that stereotypical label. And so we know and we live in a world where our words will vilify us. They they will take our words, they will misconstrue our words, they will misconstrue what it is that we're saying, and it is being done intentionally. But we continue to play the game. I told y'all yesterday, new rules, new rules. We're not doing this anymore. And then we also get put in a situation where we can say something and now we're speaking for all Black women. Yeah, I'm not speaking for all Black women. I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. And just like this is the month of me, this is the month where I am going to show everyone that I love myself more than anybody else. I am well loved, and that the way I treat myself, you can treat me no less. This is the month for me to have a radical love affair with myself, and I invite you in. I invite you in. We're on day 3. If you missed day 1 and day 2, please go back and watch the video. If you missed the beginning of the challenge, it is on YouTube. Go on over to YouTube and check out the beginning of the challenge, and then day 1, day 2, and today is day 3. Because what are we going to do? I can tell you what I recommend you to do, and it is what I have done, is to opt out. We're opting out of this foolishness. We are opting out of this. Oh, there's eat and work out. All right, girl. She's saying nothing but the truth. We're exhausted. It is exhausting. And a lot of times we don't even realize that we're doing these things. We have no idea that we're doing this. We are running through what we're going to say 1,000 times in our head before we say it. We're thinking about how people are going to receive us. We have all of these thoughts going through our heads before we can even say what it is that we need to say. And then on top of that, we have to be worried about other people's feelings and how they are going to take what it is that you said. Now, am I saying go out here and be spiteful, be vengeful, and just be reckless and careless? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you are the priority. You are responsible for your own feelings. You are not responsible for the feelings of other people. And so in doing so, we have to stop being so hyper aware of how we sound, of what tone we're using. And we're not going to even talk about the facial expressions. I know some people who, before they can say a word, they got to change their whole face. They got to do all of this stuff. And that's exhausting. It's just exhausting. I'm sorry. And so, how are you going to have self love and affirm yourself if you are working and turning yourself into a pretzel to make other people feel a certain way? That's right. Joy Allen said the RFB, the rest and be face. And we're worried about what other people are going to say. We are worried about how they are going to receive us. And here's the thing that I'm going to tell y'all. Some people intend to misunderstand you. So what are the steps that I'm telling you for this Portion of the challenge, number one, first of all, you got to decide I'm opting out this month. I'm not policing my speech. I'm not going to police myself. I'm not going to make myself small. I'm not going to police every word that I say because it's going to make you feel a certain way. I'm not doing that this month. That's right. We don't want to be the angry black woman, Joy. And why are we worried about it? Because no matter what you do, no matter what you say, people are going to think and feel what it is they want to think and feel. And it's okay for you to be passionate about something. Because you know what? I'm very passionate about this right here. I am very passionate about women deciding that their lives matter, that they should have joy, that they should have fun, that they should be able to have multiple dreams, and that you can design your own life. You don't have to settle. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to wait until somebody says what you can have. And nobody's coming on a white horse to save you. We got to save ourselves. We got to save ourselves. And then we use these excuses. Well, I got kids. Well, I got to take care of the family. Well, I carry the health insurance. Those are all excuses because the good Lord gave you talents to be able to support yourself. But instead, we have relied on a system of jobs to support us. And even if you're going to rely on a job, at least let it be one that is not harmful and toxic to you, where you have to monitor everything that you say. So I am saying for this month, I want you to try opting out of policing your speech. I want you to be okay with being misunderstood. Let me say that again. I want you to be okay with being misunderstood. Be okay with it. Understand, and I'm gonna say some stuff and some people are gonna misunderstand me. There is somebody who will watch this video that I'm doing right now, and because their goal is to misconstrue what it is that I'm saying, they are going to hear this and take something and turn it into not what I was saying. And that's okay. I'm not going to try to defend it. I'm not going to try to rebuttal. I'm not going to try to do any of that. I'm this first step to is to be okay with being misunderstood. It's okay if you think I'm an angry black woman. It's okay. Because I know that the people who know me and spend time with me and who love me and who care for me, they know that I'm not. They know that I'm not. So we got to stop defending. We got to stop trying to prove. We got to stop doing all these things. Good morning, Monica. And so the second thing is it's time for us to stop, being mild and meek. And girl, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. When you know that you need to say something, see, we've gotten to a world where it's better to tell a lie than it is to tell the truth. And we would rather make you feel good with lies than to tell you the truth. And so that's why we have to get it. And it's mainly because we're worried about what people are going to say, how they're going to think, and the guilt that comes along with it if someone gets their feelings hurt. And I am sad to be the one to tell you that you can't control other people's feelings. It's not your job to monitor other people's feelings. Will some people, and I told y'all yesterday, that's why you got to go back. You got to watch the series of videos. You're going to be the villain in some people's story. You're going to be the villain. It's okay. Nobody gets to get away with always being the hero, because if you don't know, the hero got a story too that they don't tell that portion of. They don't tell you how many people die when Superman is fighting Lex Luthor. They don't tell you how many people Superman killed accidentally. They were collateral damage. But because he's the good guy, he gets to still be labeled the hero. But they don't talk about the collateral damage from Superman. They don't talk about the collateral damage from Batman. They don't talk about the collateral damage from any of the superheroes that you've been grown up to know about, and the way that they've conditioned us to believe that the villain is always bad. I'm here to tell y'all, they did something to the villain. The villain has a story, and we got to stop believing the hype. You don't get to go and kill my dog and steal my car and break in my house, and all I'm gonna do is sit back and pray. That's not how this works. You get to be angry, and as my sister will say, don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear if you don't want a response. And you don't get to control what my response is going to be. Me personally, I'm going to give you a warning. I'm gonna say, okay, I understand. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna walk away because this not good for me. Like, I'm gonna let you know. But we will bottle these things up. We will go home mad, angry because we didn't say what we needed to say. We didn't clear it up the way we needed to clear it up because we didn't want to come off as the angry Black woman. We didn't want to be viewed as aggressive. Tell the truth. How many of y'all been viewed as the angry Black woman? What did you do for them to think that, to say or to label you as the angry Black woman? Put it in the chat. Why can't we share these comments? Why can't we tell so that other people can understand? It's some people who don't even know that they are policing their speech. They don't even know that they have themselves in bondage trying to live up to the expectation of other people. Joy said me. Joy done raised her hand. She said me. What was the situation that happened? I can honestly tell you. He said, girl, you better stop playing. He said I bullied him. See what I'm saying? So they give you these titles. You're a bully. You're difficult. You're aggressive. You're an angry Black woman, because we have this thing where all eyes are on us and we got to come across as perfect and we got to fit into the mold. But when we do this, when we do that, you are upholding white supremacy. When you do that, you are trying your best not to fit into the stereotype that has been put out there for you. You are upholding white supremacy. I do not support white supremacy. I will not be a part of white supremacy, and I will fight it until the day I die. I will not assimilate to what it is they say I should do, how it is they say I should behave. I do not come from white culture. I come from Black culture. And you will accept me and my little Black self, and I will accept you and your little white self. And that's the way it has to be. But when we uphold these stereotypes and these biases, we're supporting white supremacy. We're supporting it. Monica says aggressive speech is always seen negatively, like we have an attitude, but we're just passionate about what the subject is. That's right. We're passionate, but we don't get to be passionate. You never hear anybody say, she's passionate about that. You hear them say, oh, she angry. Why she so mad? Why she talking that loud? I had somebody ask me, why you talk that loud? I said, because I can, and you can't do nothing about it. Why I gotta talk low? Why do I have to whisper? Why do I have to conform to what it is that makes you comfortable? But see, when we support it and when we do the thing that is opposite of the stereotype to prevent being put into the stereotype, we're supporting white supremacy. We're supporting it inadvertently. We're trying to keep our jobs. We're trying to get a raise. We're trying to get a promotion. Eden Workout says, yes, I've been viewed as the angry Black woman, and I was viewed that way because I chose not to agree. Absolutely. When you choose not to be a part of it, that's how this thing works. That's why they keep the stereotypes going, to keep you in line. And I'm telling you, we as Black women, if we can be honest, we're hyper aware of this. We worried about how we sound. I got to speak proper. Hello, how are you? Yes, good morning. Good morning. How are you today? When that's not how you talk on the weekends. That's not how you talk at home. But we're hyper aware that other people are watching us because we are successful. We are in the limelight. We are doing things. How about we bring our culture in with us? We're hyper aware about how we look. We wear certain clothes. We don't wear certain clothes. We wear our hair a certain way. We don't wear our hair a certain way. We wear our makeup a certain way because we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to seem like we're different from anybody. We want to fit in. We do this to ourselves. We do this to ourselves. And so now I want us to take this month to really pull it together, to really take a day or two. Let this mull over in your head and take a few steps to change this. We change the way we walk. We change the way we eat. Listen here. I go to lunch and dinners and brunches. Y'all know I'm the brunch queen, okay? I go to brunch, lunch, dinner with all of these high class business owners, people who are doing some great things in the world, people who I actually never imagined I would be breaking bread with, to be quite honest. and we get to these elaborate restaurants and these 5-star restaurants and these rooftop restaurants and all of these places that I've never been, didn't know anything about, probably would never have exposure to it. And that's the beauty with being in diverse communities and in diverse groups and organizations. And when that menu comes out, I look and I read what's on it. Everybody else at the table can be ordering caviar. They can be ordering lamb. They can be ordering whatever they gonna order. I'm calling that waiter over there. I'm saying, hey, y'all got some chicken on this menu? Because I don't eat anything that looks like what it is. And I don't eat anything that I can't identify. But I know what chicken is. Can you bring me some chicken? I'm not ashamed. The people who I go to dinner, lunch, brunch with, they'll tell you, we got to make sure they got chicken on the menu for Chanel. But then there are other people who will get pressured into trying stuff. One girl, they pressured her into trying some stuff, trying to fit in. But where were they at when she had that allergic reaction and had to go to that hospital? See, she didn't have no business trying that. She didn't know what it was. She knew she had some type of allergy, but she didn't know if the food that they were getting her, she had a fish allergy, some type of fish allergy. And the thing that she ordered, or they ordered for her, had some fish in it, but it wasn't like the main ingredient in it. But guess what? When she wasn't feeling good and she knew something was going wrong and she needed to go to that hospital, do you think them people went to the hospital with her and sat there with her? They said, call us and let us know you all right. But see, she was trying to fit in. She wasn't being her authentic self. She should have said, no, I don't really know what that is. I'm not up for experimenting today. You got to be in the mood to experiment. When you experiment, there may be consequences that come along with it. If you ain't ready for them consequences today or potential consequences, you shouldn't be trying and doing new things. When I'm experimenting, I'm clear. I'm experimenting. I may not like it. I might have to send it back. But I'm just saying, we are super aware and super just we just too much on it of how we sound, look, eat, walk, even how we breathe. I walked through that Atlanta airport, y'all. Y'all know that Atlanta airport is huge. And I think I was at Concourse A and had to get all the way over to Concourse E, had to take the train. Y'all, that thing was about a mile, 2 miles long. And you rushing. And the one lady gonna ask me, why you breathing like that? Because I'm fat and tired. That's why. I done walked all the way from back there. I said, I don't walk like this every day. You walk 2 miles every day. That's on you. But I don't walk 2 miles all together at one time every day. I'm barely walking a mile on the treadmill. And now you done put 2 miles on me with luggage. And you think that I'm not supposed to breathe heavy? Girl, I'm finna breathe heavy. And you better move away from me before I be sweating on you too. And so we are hyper aware and hyper conscious, but don't let people put you into those boxes. And this month, I want y'all to work on that. Joy says, I wasn't going to let him act that way, the way he was towards my student. And when I told him I couldn't pass your class the way you teach, and I have a master's degree. And now you the bully. See what I'm saying? And now you the bully because you said what you said. That's why I'm telling you, step number 2 is say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. I couldn't pass your class and I got a master's degree. Maybe the problem ain't the kids. Maybe it's you. Maybe the teacher is the problem. And that made him mad. He didn't like that. That's not your job to control his emotions. And now you're a bully. You're a bully. She's aggressive. She's an angry Black woman. Listen here, we're not doing that this month. First, we're going to be okay with being misunderstood. It's okay for him to misunderstand you. People are out here to misconstrue everything that you say. And that's okay. That is not your job to try to make sure they understand where you're coming from, to give them additional context. Sis, bro, that ain't your job. Listen here. That ain't your job. That's somebody else's job. And it's also not your job to be in charge of somebody else's emotions. Your job is to be in charge of your own emotions. You got to make sure that you are emotionally stable and that you're able to control your own emotions. You get to say what it is you need to say. Now the third thing I'm going to tell y'all, which will help some of us, and I do this as well, have a vent partner. Have a friend who you can call because you are working jobs. You are doing things in the community, and I have a vent partner. So when something happens, I'll say what I need to say on the spot, but then I'm coming home and I'm calling my good girlfriend and I'm gonna say everything I need to say with all of the cuss words, with all of the bleeps. I'm calling them all of the MFs. I'm calling them all of the things on that vent session. And that's going to allow me to get it out of my system, because of course we can't do all of that, and it's not appropriate to do all of that, because I ain't got to call you names to get my point across. But when I'm talking to my vent partner, I'm gonna call you the names that I wanted to call you. But we got to get those things out of our system. That's why we ruminate on things. It runs through our heads 1,000 times. We go to sleep thinking about it and wake back up thinking about it, because you didn't get it out of your system. You got to get these things out of your system. And so I recommend that you have a vent partner, somebody who you can tell what happened, say what you need to say. If you need to cuss, do what you need to do. I'm just being honest with y'all. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, we don't have to cuss. Like, sometimes we want to cuss people out, but like, we can't cuss you out at work. We can't cuss you out at work. Profanity ain't allowed at work. So the MF that I wanted to call you, I can't call you that at work, but when I get home, I'm gonna tell my friend, girl, let me tell you what this MF did. And you get to say everything that you wanted to say. You need that vent partner, and that vent partner needs to understand, when I call, I say, I need to vent. I need to vent. And my good girlfriend, she knows. Let her go. Just let her say what she needs to say. Get it all out. And it's not for that vent partner to try to give you recommendations, to try to give you advice. Now they're gonna get some good laughs out of it. Because when I'm doing my venting, baby, my friend be on the ground cracking up. But they're gonna get some good laughs out of it. But she already knows. We're not necessarily looking for no advice. We're not looking for no recommendations. We're not looking for you to tell us how we should have handled it. We just need to get this out of our system, say what we need to say so that we can move on to the next thing. So I need you to know that having a vent partner is going to let you stop playing this over in your head 1,000 times. For Joy, what happened? How did that end with the man who now is called, who stated that you're doing bullying behavior? How did it move? How did you move past it? How did you all then interact? And did other people did he begin to tell other people those things, and then they began to think those things about you? Let us know in the chat. And so this also, it impacts our self-confidence when we can't say what we need to say. It impacts our self-confidence. I was talking to a lady. She is the only person in her building who has a PhD. And the PhD that she has is in the subject matter that they were talking about. She's the only one in the room with the highest level of education, and she's the only Black woman there. And they're talking about a subject that she's a subject matter expert on. And when she went to try to share her thought on what was being discussed, they were very dismissive of what she was saying. But yet you will listen to this other lady who doesn't have the experience or the know-how, and everybody's listening and writing and taking down her thoughts. And so the lady left and she didn't say anything else in the meeting. She silenced herself. She didn't say anything else in the meeting. She got up at the end, she left, and then she was talking about it, how messed up that was, how crazy this was. Do you know this lady was talking about this for 3-4 weeks after that? 3-4 weeks after this, she's still talking about that, because that impacted her deeply. Because we silence ourselves and we don't understand how much damage that is doing to ourselves. We don't understand. Eden Workout said, I need to find a vent partner and just tell them what their role is, what you need them to do, and that they just need to listen, let you vent, and you let them know. When I start off and say, I need to vent, this is what I need. And most people will adhere to that, but you know who is capable of it and who's not. But she went on 3-4 weeks talking about this same event because it was harmful to her. It was harmful to her soul. And this is what this radical love affair is for us. This is about soul care, SOUL. We need to stop with the self-care. Self-care is needed, but we need to pay attention to our soul care. And the reason why is that when we silence ourselves and when we police our speech, it creates psychological stress. It creates anxiety. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of the damage that you're doing to your neurological system? Can you imagine? And I gotta say this. Black women experience this at the highest rate. Not white women, not Latina women, not indigenous women, not any other type of woman other than the black woman, because they don't get called the angry black woman. They don't get the names. They don't get to they get to be passionate. They get to care deeply. But we get to be angry. We get to be, y'all don't get me started because this is supposed to be a good session, okay? Don't get me started. So when you are constantly monitoring and adjusting your speech to fit into somebody else's societal norms, it leads to stress, people. It creates stress. And you're being too vigilant over your own self-expression. And that creates anxiety. Ain't nothing about anxiety good. When I said the word anxiety, it didn't give you a positive feeling. That is not a good thing. It creates low self-esteem. Why do you think the lady talked about the event for 3-4 weeks later? Because it did something to her value, to her self-worth. It hurt her internally at a soul level, and it creates depression. So let me give you the rest of the story. So then she said, I'm just not gonna say nothing at any other meetings. They don't value what I say. You gotta value what you say. I tell my nieces and nephews all the time, what you ain't gonna say is say that nobody told you, because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you because I love you, even if it hurts your feelings. And I say what the other people are not willing to say to them. So you have to work on yourself, because if you don't, you'll end up depressed, and you'll never get to be your authentic self. Joy says he told the principal, they had a meeting and he stood there and said it again. The principal listened to him and I just got quiet, but he got himself together eventually because I didn't back down. I just changed my tone. Then some weeks later, let me see. She said, wait, I got to look at the rest of it. I just changed my tone. Then some weeks later, he was on the defense because the principal he went to turned on him. It was a whole mess. Wasn't there anymore to see how it all went down, though. I got transferred, not because of this. I had a grant funded position. Right. So you see, and so we do all of this. And for what? After we get through policing our speech, after we get through winding ourselves up, turning ourselves into pretzels, after we get through trying to assimilate to white culture, when we get through trying to blend into mainstream, girl, you still ain't getting a promotion. Girl, you still ain't getting a raise. Girl, they still finna call you the angry black woman. They still finna say that you mean. They still finna say you a bully. They still finna say you aggressive. So what does it lead to? It leads to stress. It leads to anxiety. It leads to a long-term impact on your health. It has health consequences. And furthermore, we are reinforcing these stereotypes. We're reinforcing it by adjusting our behavior and trying to avoid being viewed as the angry black woman instead of addressing the situation and the stereotype. When he said, you're a bully, we would have had to go get the dictionary and pull it up. We got phones. We're going to pull up what the word bully means, because bully means that one person has more power than the other. One person can do harm or damage to the other one. It is a power structure in bullying. And because you all, both of you all were teachers, what you're not finna do is call me a bully. We finna define it, and you finna show me where I did and fit into the qualifications for being a bully. And then once we did that, then he was gonna realize, well, maybe I used the wrong word. Okay, well, let me help to give you a word that will work. I'm passionate about these kids' education. I know what's gonna happen when these students don't pass your class. I've seen this before, and I have a right to speak on it. Why are you trying to silence me? Because that's what it is. He called you a bully in an attempt to silence you, in an attempt to make you feel like, oh, let me stop, because we know what words to throw around. But we have to understand that we're going to say it with our whole chest. We're not reinforcing these stereotypes. We are not playing into the white supremacy. We're not doing that. And then we inadvertently reinforce these notions by holding on and by assimilating to what they say is acceptable. This perpetuates that stereotype. It perpetuates it. What does Joy say? Joy says, I was a SPED department chair, though, and he was a CTE business teacher. Oh, okay. So he's trying to say that you were a bully, and there are behaviors for bullying. So I would have looked it up. I would have made him clarify, how am I a bully? What behavior did I do that specifies that I'm a bully? We got to start flipping it around on them, because even as me, I was a building principal. I was a building principal. And my first day on the job, my first day, they had labeled me, oh, she thinks she's something. Oh, she thinks she cute. It ain't always in the negative. They try to play these games with you. Oh, she thinks she's smart. I said, no, I don't think I'm smart. I know that I'm smart. I got the IQ test to prove it. I got the grades to prove it. I got the accolades to prove that I'm smart. That's not a question. Is it a bad thing to be smart? Is it a bad thing to be intelligent? Is that a bad thing? When did that become a bad thing? And furthermore, it doesn't matter, because I love me and I can appreciate that I'm a smart person. Oh, that was looking real crazy. They had to take that off the table. Oh, she thinks she cute because I didn't look like other principals. That's okay. I said, so am I supposed to think that I'm ugly? Am I supposed to walk around here with low self-esteem? Am I supposed to be scared to show up because y'all intimidated? Because I know that I look good. And when I come in here every day, I look good. I did the work to look good. When I woke up an extra 30 minutes early, when I curled my hair, when I got going, I knew how I was going to look. I intended to look this way. This was not by accident. And then they were looking crazy. Because what you thought you were going to change me because I need to make you feel better, I need to make you feel more comfortable. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's right. Joy said she had to advocate for her kids. That's all it is. And people need to hear that. And so it gets to a point where we're suppressing our authentic self. It means that we're not fully expressing our true thoughts and emotions. Why is it that we cannot have thoughts and emotions? And if we do, that means that we are angry. That means that we are aggressive. That means that we are a bully, because we have thoughts and emotions. And especially if those thoughts and emotions don't agree with what mainstream society says. But for the month of May, I want us to begin to evaluate this in your regular life, in your daily life. How are you policing your speech? How are you silencing yourself? What are the things that you're doing? And this may be inadvertently that you're doing this, because we've been doing it for so long. A lot of times we don't know when we're engaging in that behavior. I want you to think about a time when you felt like you had to police your speech. Come on, put it in the chat. Tell me, y'all. Let me know. What was the time that you felt like you needed to police your speech? And how did that make you feel? Let's talk about that for a minute. How did it make you feel when you had to police your speech, when you had to water yourself down, when you had to not say something, even though you wanted to say something? How did it make you feel when you silenced yourself? What was the feeling that you felt? Did you feel less valuable? Did you feel dismissed? How did you feel? Be honest, because this is part of the problem. Black women are not allowed to have feelings. We can only be happy. We can only be happy. We get two feelings. We're either happy or angry. If you're happy, it's okay. But if you're angry, that's a bad thing. Eating Workout says every day. Every day. So this is the month that we're not doing that. Eating Workout, this is the month we're not doing that. And we're going to be conscious about this, because this is one of the things that you can do to show yourself radical self-love. This is one of the things that you can do to have an amazing love affair with yourself. It's not good for us to walk around and not be able to express our emotions and not be able to have a range of emotions. It's okay for you to be excited. It's okay for you to be frustrated. It's okay for you to be angry. It's okay for you to be happy. It's okay for you to be sad. There are a range of emotions that you should be having and able to display, but we only get two as Black women, and that's happy and angry is not acceptable, so you only get one. One of the things that I often, like, I know y'all done experienced this. Maybe you haven't. Maybe this is just a Midwestern thing. You'll be in the store and somebody will say, "Why you not smiling? You too pretty not to smile. You need to put a smile on your face." Has anybody ever experienced that? Anybody? Is it just me that people say that? I know it's not just me. It couldn't just be me. And I was just in Costco a couple of weeks ago, and the man at the door said to me as I was walking out, you know how you have to give him the ticket? I gave him the ticket, and he looked up at me and he said, "Sister, won't you smile? Won't you smile?" And I said I had to make a decision at that moment. Am I going to engage this, or am I finna go and get in my car and go on about my day? Okay. He said, "Sister, why won't you smile? Why won't you smile?" I said, "Let me go on about my business because there's a whole line of people behind me. And it ain't my job to teach him today, not today." And I headed on to my car. And so I called my husband and I was telling my husband, I said, "You know what? Men need to stop doing it. At telling a woman you need to smile. Why do we always have to have a smile plastered across our face? Why? Maybe I ain't in the mood to smile." And like one woman said, this woman was in Walmart. It was on Facebook. She was in Walmart, and it was early in the morning, and a man saw her and said, "You know, you really should smile because you walking around here looking all mad and angry, and if you smile, you'll be more approachable." She looked at him and she said, "Sir, my son just got killed last night, and I just came here to get something and get on out this store. Now, do you still think I should be smiling?" See, because people don't understand. People don't understand. We ain't always got to be smiling. As a Black woman, we got to have a smile plastered across our face. Look at her. Monica said she had that done to her before. Cynthia says she had that done to her before. People want to tell you you need to smile. Eating Workout says she had that done to her before. And Monica says, "See, I have a shirt that says not today." Right. Why can't we have down days, off days, tired days? Y'all, we're exhausted and we don't even know it. So I want us to think about, and I want to ask you this: what are some of the fears or concerns that hold you back from speaking your mind? Can you share that? What are some of the fears and concerns that hold you back from speaking your mind? Now, a long time ago, a long time ago for me, I used to be concerned about how the other person would react. If I say what I'm going to say, they're going to think that I'm mean. They're going to think that I lack emotion. They're going to think that I'm not sensitive. They're going to think all of these things. They're going to judge me. And especially if I had a different opinion, because I often have a different opinion than some of the people who I hang out with, the people who I went to school with. I had a different understanding from a very young age. And so what they would think was normal, I would think was abnormal. But of course, they would think that I was abnormal because all of them thought the same thing. So, what are some of the fears or concerns that hold you back from speaking your mind? For some of us, it may be the loss of the job. I don't want to get in trouble at the job. I don't want to get rolled up. I don't want to get fired. What are some of those fears and concerns that keep you from speaking up? And I'm not talking about, let me be clear, I'm not talking about being that outspoken person who always got something to say. I'm not talking about being the squeaky wheel. I'm not talking, that's not what I'm talking about. And so, like I said, some people are always looking to misconstrue what it is that you're saying. Joy says retaliation, being written up, being an outcast, and some teachers are just petty. Some teachers are just petty. And they are, because at the end of the day, they are human. Monica says, in my circle, it's being politically correct. Joy. I mean, Monica, I let people know that I'm not a politician and I won't be running for office anytime soon. And so thank you for the thumbs up. And y'all make sure that you liking this live on YouTube, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, please. I would really, really appreciate it. And feel free to share this session as well. So I tell people, and I make sure that they know I'm not a politician. So don't expect for me to be politically correct. See, they want you to be politically correct, but you ain't a politician. I ain't finna run for no office. I'm not running for office. So you can capture whatever you want to capture. You can record whatever you want to record. When you send it, I ain't running for no office, and you don't pay my bills. You don't pay my bills. But you're exactly right, Monica. A lot of people are working to be politically correct, especially with funders. And I will speak up, but check my tone. And that I understand that. And that is not always suppressing yourself. That's just knowing I'm working with these funders. I gotta have the right tone. So I'm gonna have the right tone, but it doesn't take away your message, and it allows you to still stay true to who you are. And I let people know, like, a lot of times we need to call it the way it is. I let people know you called on me because of the level of work that I do. Like when they call me to come in their schools to coach their leaders, when they call me to come in and do PD, I tell them, you called on me because of the level of work that I do. Did you think that I got to this level of work by being mild mannered and meek? Is that what you thought? Tell me a highly successful person who was mild mannered and meek. Like, make it make sense. And a lot of times I have to explain this, especially because my primary base of people who I work with in the school system are white men. And so I have to let them know when the superintendent calls me and says, I want you to coach 10 principals, I need him to understand. So you understand that I'm a Black woman, right? Now, he done already talked to me. He done already seen me. So he already know I'm a Black woman. But by me saying that, it's letting him know that I know I'm a Black woman. And as a Black woman, I don't show up as a white woman. I don't talk like a white woman. I don't sound like a white woman. I don't dress like a white woman. And I'm not going to engage your staff like a white woman. Are you prepared for an authentic person to stand before your staff? I'm going to always be respectful, but I'm also very direct. But I'm always respectful. I will not disrespect you. I will not disrespect your school. I will not disrespect the work that you all are doing. Students will be held to the highest standard. Your vision and mission will be held to the highest standard, but I'm going to do it authentically as me. That would be like trying to tell Kobe Bryant, I want you to calm down when you get over to the free throw line. You calm down. All right, I want you to make the goal. I want you to make the play. I want you to make the 3 points, but do it in a nice way. I want you to make the shot, but don't dunk. Don't dunk, because dunking means that you think you better than everybody else. So I want you to, speak it. We got to talk about these things. Eden Workout says the others have the power to end your work career and fail you in your school career. Let me tell you this. That's a limiting belief. That's a limiting belief. That's absolutely a limiting belief. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's a limiting belief. The others don't have the power to do anything to you. You give them the power to be able to do that, because you can always leave. You don't have to stay where you're not wanted. You are highly gifted and highly talented. You can work at other schools. You can work outside of schools. You can do a number of different things. And so we have to stop telling ourselves that they have the power. You are the most powerful person you know. You are the most powerful person you know. And a lot of times we want to stay in our comfort zone, but the comfort is toxic. The comfort is harmful. The comfort is killing you. And so we think that they have the power. Take your power back. That's what this month is about, taking your power back. I done worked in many school systems as an educator. I wasn't that one who worked in one school system, because guess what? I got my own power. You ain't got no power over me. You may be my evaluator, but I am the CEO of my life. And you're not finna try to whoop me with no ink pen. You're not finna try to put me in my place. And you are not about to try to tell me what I will and won't do. I am a grown adult, and I can make decisions for myself, and I can also accept the consequences that comes along with that. It's so many of us who need to leave these toxic situations, and we're doing these things to ourselves. We're running our blood pressure up. We have anxiety. We have heart palpitations. We have panic attacks. We are overeating. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're giving everything to the school system because we have given them our power. I'm here to tell you, you have power. There are over 1,000 school districts, 1,134 to be exact, school systems in the United States of America. They need teachers. They need people. In your own state, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. In the state of Missouri, we got 200 school districts, not schools, but districts. And so, and even if we can't work in schools, guess what? They got schools at the hospital. I don't think people know that. I don't know if everybody knows that, but the hospitals have schools, like Children's Hospital. Their kids can't go to school. There are teachers there who do school at the hospital who make a lot of times more than the teachers who are in the school system. There are a number of different ways to teach. I'm just saying that there are a number of different ways to teach. So I don't want you to believe that they have power over you, because they don't. And once you step into that power, you will see that everything is going to shift for you. That's just like the people who go to see if they can have the day off. Girl, I wish I would go and ask for a day off. I'm going to FYI you. For your information, I will not be in tomorrow. Sub has been requested. Plans are on the desk. That's it. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not telling you where I went. I took a personal day. I took a sick day. I'm not giving you any additional information, and I'm not asking for your permission. I don't care if it's testing week. I don't care if it's the week before school is out. I don't care if it's Christmas. I don't care if it's the first day of school. If I got something that needs to be done that I deem is important in my life, you're going to get the notice. I won't be at school tomorrow. Sub plans have been submitted. See you on Monday. Period. That's it. If they come to ask me on Monday, yeah, you were out. I absolutely was. Well, what happened? Nothing. I had to take care of something. Well, were you at the hospital? I already put my stuff into the system. No, they don't get. Girl, look here. Okay, that's right. Joy said my delivery may be a little different. Joy says it be your own people sometimes. Absolutely, it be your own people, and that's why you got to get your own people straight. You are exactly right. It be your own people, and that's why we have to have these conversations. When people are talking crazy, trying to misconstrue you, sometimes they want to misconstrue you. There are some people who want to misunderstand you. I'm okay with being misunderstood. I'm okay with being misunderstood. And that's what I'm recommending to y'all. Be okay with being misunderstood, okay? Be okay with it. And then when you believe something, you need to say something. Girl, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Stop trying to sugarcoat it. Stop trying to water it down. Say what you need to say. Be direct. Don't let people tell you that lies are the new truth. Don't let people tell you that. Don't fall for that, because in this day and age, social media and all of the entertainment and all of the Tubi and all of that has taught us that lies are the new truth, and it's not. It's not. And then we fall into these ruts. Don't let society send you where you don't want to go. But we gotta be willing to say it, and then have a vent partner. Have someone who you can vent with, because I'm telling you, these things impact your health. They impact your health. And when you choose to opt out of policing your speech, when you choose to opt out of policing your speech, you're going to find a level of freedom that you didn't even know existed. You're going to find that you're not thinking about those things in your head 1,000 times, because you said what you needed to say. You were not disrespectful. I'm not saying you got to go out here cursing people out, yelling and screaming at them, talking crazy. I'm not saying that. I am saying that you can say what you need to say. That thing that you need to say, you can say it. You don't have to walk around with a smile plastered on your face, trying to keep from being the angry Black woman. You don't have to be so kind and be so nice because you don't want them to think that you're angry. You don't have to be a doormat because you want them to think that you're a nice person. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to keep playing small. You don't have to keep playing like you don't know the answer, because some of the people in the room not as smart as you, and so you don't want them to think that you think you better than them. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna ask a little dumb question to make them think that I don't know the answer to. Girl, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not gonna. I ain't gonna ask that, because then the superintendent gonna think that I'm trying to show her up. Why are you worried about what she gonna think? You need to say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. And we gotta stop being so concerned with how we sound and how we look. And let me make sure that I'm speaking in the correct English. And I gotta be perfect. That is, y'all, ain't that? Don't that sound stressful as I'm talking about it? Don't it sound stressful as I'm talking about it? Like, it's stressing me out just talking about it. Because we need to be free. People, we are free. You can be free, but you got to decide that you're opting out of these systems. You got to decide that you're opting out of this white supremacy. You got to decide that you love yourself more than you love them people that you're talking to. You got to decide that you love yourself more than you love that job. You got to decide that you love yourself more than you love that principal. You got to decide that you love yourself more than what people think about you. It's all about you this month. It's all about having radical self-love for yourself, having a radical love affair with yourself. No one in this world should love you more than you love you. Point blank, period. The only person who should love you more is God. It shouldn't be your mama. It shouldn't be your husband. It shouldn't be your wife. It shouldn't be your kids. It shouldn't be nobody else. I need us to bring main character energy. I need when the stage curtains to open, you need to be standing there in your amazing pose. You need to be the main character. You should not be the supporting cast in your life. And the thing that we're working on today is to break the silence. We're going to stop policing ourselves. It's a bad situation when white supremacy is so good, it got us policing ourselves. It got us making sure that we do the things that they've deemed acceptable in white culture. Now, I want us to think about how much sense do that make. That's why I say we're perpetuating white supremacy when we do these things. And so there are people who won't like this message. That's okay. It wasn't for them. It wasn't for them. There are some people who are going to misunderstand this message. That's okay. It wasn't for them. They misunderstood. Go on about your life. And it's okay. You can misunderstand me. But you see how I done said everything I said with my whole chest. With my whole chest. These are my beliefs, and I don't care about being politically correct. I'm not a politician, nor do I plan to become a politician anytime soon. There is no desire to be a politician in the world that I live in my world. I don't know about in your world, but in my world, I'm not finna be the mayor. I'm not finna do any of that. I'm not a politician. And when I become a politician, that's when I'll worry about being politically correct. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. And for the people who try to give you these labels of angry black woman, of, bully, of, whatever they're labeling you as, you need to have a conversation about it. When they call you that name, you need to spin it back on them. Oh, so I'm an angry black woman because I care about the students in my classroom. So that makes me an angry black woman. Oh, I'm an angry black woman because you raised your voice at me and I raised my voice back at you. That makes me an angry black woman. So do that make you an angry what? You an angry what? So let's talk about what we both are. Don't just try to project onto me. Let's talk about this whole situation. Oh, so I'm a bully because I feel like my kids deserve better. I'm a bully because I disagree with how you run your classroom. That makes me a bully. That's not what a bully is. I would need to do more than that in order to be a bully. See, we got to stop feeding into these stereotypes and spin them on their head. Make people think about what it is that they've said, and at least we're going to clear the air. And then when I leave from talking to you, because I done said what I needed to say, and so I ain't got to walk away feeling suppressed. I ain't got to walk away feeling anxiety filled. I ain't got to walk away mad because I didn't say what I wanted to say or needed to say. Then I can go get on the phone with my good girlfriend and say, girl, I got to vent. I need 10 minutes to vent. Let me tell you what this MF did. Let me tell you what this so-and-so did. Girl, let me tell you. And then I'm going to have my vent session. But I got to say what I needed to say at that time. She said, I need this attitude. I'd be better off in my business life. But you know what? It's working on ourselves. It's working on the things that we suppress and understanding why we suppress them, and then coming up with strategies and things to put in place to stop us from falling back into that behavior. Because I get it. When I first became a teacher, I was trying to adhere. I was trying to, coexist. And I saw the same things y'all saw. I saw teachers mistreating students. I saw students getting suspended. This student got 10 days, but this student ain't even get suspended, and he done did it 5 times more than the other kid did. I saw all of the injustices. And guess what? It was killing me. It was killing me not saying anything. It was absolutely killing me to not say anything because I saw the injustice. And when you don't say anything, that means that you condone it. And because I didn't condone it, then I'd be steady talking about it. Oh, this school, they do these black kids so bad. Oh, they just treat them so bad. Why he didn't get suspended? So then it became this negative thing. And so then you go down this road of negativity because you feel powerless. You feel like you can't do anything. You can't help them. You have given up your power. And so the first step that I started doing was I started saying to the student who was being, who was having the injustice done to them, I would pull them aside and I would say, I see you. You didn't deserve that. Don't you let them think that they took away your value. You didn't deserve that. That other student perpetuated this and he should have gotten suspended too. Now, I'm not in a position to issue any consequences or to suspend the other kid, but I want you to know that I saw that wasn't all your fault. You are not 100% responsible for this. So that was my first way of speaking up, of trying to support, and of showing that I do not condone this behavior. And then I had to do the self-work on myself to see, why am I sitting back allowing these injustices to happen like I have no control over anything. And when I can't help or do what I need to do, I take myself out of that situation, because by staying there, I am perpetuating white supremacy. So I make the decision, I am leaving, which is why I've been at 3-4 different schools. I was never put out. I was never made to leave. I made some amazing changes in school systems as well. And then when I realized I need to have a bit more power in order to be able to help these students, that's when I started going up the leadership roles. That's when I said the curriculum doesn't work for these students. It only works for our AP students. We need some curriculum adjustments. I became the instructional facilitator. I became the person who was over the curriculum throughout the district. Little did I know that although you put a curriculum on paper, that don't mean that's what the teacher's going to teach in the classroom. I was like, wait a minute, that ain't even what the curriculum say. Why are you reading a different book than what we agreed on that we were going to read? And then, of course, you become an assistant principal thinking, okay, so now I can make sure that you're implementing the curriculum. And then I became a building principal. And then I came to the realization that, oh, you can make more changes on the outside than you can on the inside. Hence, I became a leadership coach through consulting. And they take your word at whatever you say because they value people from the outside more than they do the people on the inside. But it begins with the self-work. When I decided that I am not going to water myself down, when I can show up as my authentic self, when I can show up as Chanel, I ain't got to show up as Dr. DeBose. I am Dr. DeBose, but I'm also Chanel DeBose. I'm also Chanel. So I got to bring my whole self to the situation, and not just this little sliver of me that you're willing to accept. But because you have been getting a sliver of all of the Black people that you encounter, now we got to have a conversation about how I'm not about to be the sliver. Are you prepared for the whole me? Are you willing to welcome in the whole me? And if you're not willing to welcome in the whole me, we're not going to be able to work together, because I can't leave half of myself at home. Because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean that I'm the one that needs to change. Perhaps it's you that needs to change. Sometimes it may be me that needs to change, but other times it may be you. I can't change the size of my butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people want to tell you, you need to wear a girdle. You need to wear clothes like this. You don't get to determine what I get to wear, and I don't get to determine the size of my butt. I don't get to determine the size of my breast. And people want to put you in these boxes. People want to put you in these boxes, and you got to be the one to decide, no more. I will not. I opt out. So I am encouraging us to opt out in the month of May. See how it feels. See how it feels. See if you feel a bit of relief. See if you feel a bit more powerful. See if you feel a bit more seen. See if your anxiety goes down. See if your days become happier. And I encourage everybody to get them a vent partner as well. It's not going to do you any good to get a vent partner if you're still silencing yourself. So I want us to stop silencing ourselves. Stop accepting things that are not good for your mental health, for your social well-being, and for yourself, period. So I hope this has been helpful. Y'all come on back tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 4, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do tomorrow, day 4 of the Radical Self-Love Challenge. Come on and share this with somebody who needs this. Make sure that you join me on YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe on YouTube. And let folks know. Come on, we're doing this all month long in the month of May because we got changes to make on ourselves. You deserve to be well loved. And the well loved starts with you. When you love yourself well, it'll teach other people